Hey guys, how you doing? This is Manga, etc. and I'm here today to bring you a review for One Piece Manga Chapter 1045. So the fight is continuing on, and it's a very comical fight. And for me personally, I'm not saying that the fight is not enjoyable, but it takes away from the seriousness of the fight, if you get what I'm trying to say here. But that's, I guess, what Oda's going through, because obviously Joy Boy is alive, and this is supposed to be Luffy as Joy Boy, and therefore that explains the comical side of things. But because we're in a quite a serious situation right now, I feel like because Luffy is not being serious, it kind of take away from the fight. But it is still a very enjoyable fight, and it still is a very enjoyable chapter. And the whole time I was reading the chapter, it was making me think, what the heck is going on? Obviously, like, I understand what's going on. Like, they're fighting, blows being traded from both parties. It's not just Luffy's now awakened Gear 5 and he's dominating. Kaido is very much still in this fight, giving Luffy a somewhat hard time, at least for now. At least that's the way that's the way I perceive it. And we see Luffy doing a whole bunch of crazy stuff, just basically everything out of his playbook, in my personal opinion. In Gear 5, the way I see it, Luffy is capable of going through all attacks from base to Gear 4, Snake Man at will. And we see pretty much all of it. We see him maintain the speed, which is his fastest form is Gear 2. He goes into a complete giant within this chapter. And then, like, we saw him go giant arm last chapter. We haven't really seen anything to justify what I'm saying, as if you can go from base to Gear 4 attacks, because we haven't really seen any Gear 4 attacks. At least I don't think we have. I might see it on a reread. But that's how I feel like Gear 5 is going to be, being able to go from all attacks from base to Gear 4 Snake Man at will, just randomly at will, making for a tougher fight. The only additional thing that Gear 5 does add to the table is because, or at least for now anyway, is where I see it, is that because it's an awakening, he can do the whole thing with affecting the environment around him, and maybe people as well, adding rubber to them. So that will be the kind of benefit of going into Gear 5 rather than using the other gears. Because the way I saw it was, what would be if Luffy can now do this and he is capable of base to Gear 4 attacks within Gear 5, what would be then the point of using other gears? There is none. There is none. No, I'm only joking. The way I see it, at least for now, Gear 5 comes with a hefty drawback. It's giving me Gear 2 vibes. When I remember when Gear 2 was first introduced, sorry, it was a thing where Luffy shouldn't use this because it is shortening his lifespan. It's not good for him. And that's the same kind of vibe I'm getting about Gear 5 for now, because within this chapter we see him come out of Gear 5 for a little bit, and then that's when Kaido kind of hints towards, like, you really, you're not looking too good there, Luffy, my boy. And then Luffy has that whole speech about, not being afraid of dying kind of thing. And then he goes back into Gear 5. So that's why I feel like Gear 5 is powerful. We don't know how long, because the time frame wasn't given, but it don't last very long. So it's kind of like, you can't compare it to Gear 4 really, because when Gear 4 was first introduced, it had its time limit, and then Luffy had to cool down before he could use it again. I think the time was 10 minutes. But in this chapter, Luffy came out of Gear 5, huffed and puffed a little bit, and then decided, all right, cool, let's go back into Gear 5 kind of thing. So there's a difference between the two in that sense. But I feel like for now, Gear 5 is a double-edged sword. It's a double-edged sword. That's how I feel about Gear 5 for now. So even though it comes with the benefits of all the other Gear 5s, I feel like that after this fight with Kaido, maybe we don't see it again for a while, and maybe it's something that he only saves for boss battles. That's possibly what I'm thinking right now. Yeah, that's pretty much everything I got to say. I feel like the pacing of this chapter was really good, and that's because we had one focus and we was focusing on the action of Luffy versus Kaido throughout the whole chapter. There was no checking up on so and so and checking up on this person as well. We did kind of slow down the pacing just a tad. I feel like when we were getting the commentary from Yamato and Momo, but essentially we did not deviate from the focus of the chapter, which was Kaido versus Luffy, and I feel that that was good. That helped the chapter feel better. And it's for those reasons I am going to give this chapter a 4-star rating. And like always, guys, I'm asking for your thoughts and opinions. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. But most importantly, take care. Have a nice day.